of a heroin overdose, which was kind of huge in the late 60s. And you might remember them from songs like this. He's the guy that's singing right here. But yeah, dude, heroin. Heroin is taking many people on this fucking list.
Heroin's a hell of a drug, man.
Huh?
Heroin's a hell of a drug.
You know, that's one thing I would never fucking try. I'm sure you've heard this song.
Yeah, no, I have.
Well, Mr. Allen Night Owl Wilson, at the age of 27, decided to inject himself with some heroin.
Some hot dose of heroin.
Yes. Now, Canned Heat, which was the name of this band, was kind of getting some notoriety. They were kind of known as a pretty cool blues band, you know, especially with a song like this one.
And then that happens.
And then, you know, I mean, the reason why people kind of dug them up because of this voice. He had this distinctive little voice, kind of like that. But they were first and foremost a blues band, and they were one of those bands that traveled around the country, played a lot of gigs, you know. But the guy was addicted to drugs.
Here's my thing, though. Like, so imagine, like, we're hit band, and out of nowhere. So let's say we're hit podcast here,
right?
And let's say, he left. So let's say Esqueleto croaks of heroin overdose.
We're picking him because he's
not here. So, let's just say he died of a heroin overdose. How would you feel? Like, fuck, like we're skyrocketing. We're like, we're about to hit the top,
right?
The podcast world. We're about to shit on every mega motherfucker out there, and then boom, here croaks our fucking, our third member, heroin overdose. We find them next to his dog shitting on his chest. What would you think?
Well, I would be upset for two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, three reasons. Because, he is my brother, and I do
course,
love the guy. So, that's number one. Number two, because my mom would probably shit herself, and that, my dad too. That would be crazy. But number three, and most importantly, follow me here.
I'm following you.
I kind of would feel the same way I do when there's an accident on the freeway. It's just delaying my fucking shit home, man.
There you go.
It's like, motherfucker.
Preventing us from getting to the top.
Yes. So should we continue, my friend?
Yeah, no, go keep continuing.
So do you think this is tragic so far? We had a guy drowning. We had one guy getting poisoned by somebody's husband.
Well, if you actually look at it, the first one deserted. You don't fuck another man's wife.
But he's fucking Robert Johnson, man.
Yeah, I don't know about care.
Come on, dude. Come on.
And then the other one, I mean, let's be honest. The guy who's from the Rolling Stones, he got kind of lucky.
But he founded the Rolling Stones.
You really want to be known?
Do you really
want to be known as the guy who founded the Rolling Stones? I mean, he got off pretty good.
I guess. And
then the third guy, he didn't give you a backstory too much. I feel bad for him.
But you know what?
Yeah.
At least Brian Jones didn't live long enough to see his band become mediocre.
That's what I'm saying. He got off light.
There you go. So the next one.
Okay.
One of my favorites of all time. One of the probably in my opinion, the greatest guitar player to ever strap it on. Died tragically in 1970 in his London apartment after taking sleeping pills that in the UK are double. Each one pill equals 2 in America. And so he thought he took 3, and when in reality he was taking 6 or 7 sleeping pills.
Shit.
Went to sleep, never woke up.
Shit.
We're talking about the late, great Jimi Hendrix.
Damn.
Listen to that fucking plane. That's plain, my friend.
Yeah.
That's plain. I would like this Negro to rile me up any day of the week. Any day.
First of all, it's pretty fucked up to say. Secondly, if you guys are hearing crunch now, me and Mr. Lou are kind of eating pretty healthy today. We're eating celery and carrots.
I know.
And broccoli
and broccoli.
And
you know what? My girl will be all right with this. She'd be proud of me, I think. So
if we brought this last week, she would have been super happy about this.
Well, no, she said she was going to start next Monday, remember?
You're right.
So she and I, let me see. Well, Saturday we had dinner. Because we went out and saw the movie. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, she and I went to go have some buffet. And then Monday we started.
Uh-huh.
Yep. What do you think of Jimi Hendrix?
I think one of the greats.
Jimi Hendrix is... I love Jimi Hendrix.
I think if you didn't tell nobody who he was, like let's say a fresh pair of ears, listen to this song. Any song you pick from him, you just have the ear. Like you listen to, you know, that shit's good, man. That's just fucking great.
Listen to this guy play.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you had a fresh pair of ears and no one that has never listened to a song, 10 out of 10 times, they're all gonna say, "This guy's gonna be big." There's no doubt about it.
But you know what's tragic about the Jimi Hendrix thing? So he's black. He was from Seattle. But in the United States, he never fucking made it. He had to go to England to form the Experience before he actually came back and became successful. People thought the Experience were an English band, which in essence they are. But Hendrix was ours. He was American. You know? He played in the Little Richard band, and Little Richard fired him. And Little Richard fired him, and he told him this: "I need to do this to you because you're too damn good to be a fucking backup guy for anybody."
Shit.
That's Little Richard. So kudos to Little Richard for being their band. You know?
Did he suck him up afterwards?
He may have. He may have. You know, but you know, what are you gonna do? Hey! What are you gonna do?
I don't know, but I'm about to watch the fight right now. Hold on. The Bob and Richie are about to fight.
Well, they have to fight, dude. You know why, dude? Because old Steve, boy, he always said you were going to beat somebody, and I bought it too. That's it. And that's the way Steve said it was the way it was going to be, that's it.
You scared me here.
Yeah, dude. I took some drama in school, dude. Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. Listen to this plane.
I'm hearing it, motherfucker. I'm watching this too. I don't need to look at it, and I can watch the movie at the same time.
Just
don't
listen.
get here.
Oh my gosh.
You're telling him how he loves him, dude. That's love.
He loves Steve, dude.
Yeah, because Steve didn't love him. That's daddy issues right there.
But I believe the daddy issues here than I did in The Joker. I did. Well, that was another movie that we've seen that's an Oscar contender, too.
Oh, yeah, he did win. You know what? That's what we're going to talk about. What do you think of the Golden Globes? I know we're doing the Olympics. We can do back and forth. We can ping pong this.
That was alright.
What do you think of the Ricky Gervais?
I love Ricky Gervais. I think Ricky Gervais.
You know that movie, The Invention of Lying, is on Netflix now?
Yeah. I love Ricky Gervais. I think Ricky Gervais is one of the fucking funniest guys out there. Before we get off of Jimi Hendrix and the 27 Club, do yourself a favor. He did 3 albums with The Experience. He did Are You Experienced, which in my opinion is probably one of the greatest debut albums ever. Acts as Bold as Love, which is in my top 10 somewhere as far as greatest albums I've ever heard. And Electric Ladyland, which was his magnus opus with The Experience. And outside The Experience, check out his shit with the Band of Gypsies. The album, it's a live album called The Band of Gypsies. Jimi Hendrix was the man and continues to be the man because we're still trying to catch up to his genius. Motherfucker was awesome. Next on the 27 Club, she walked on stage at Monterey a nobody, walked off stage a fucking legend. And unfortunately also died.
Let me guess. Heroin overdose?
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck, man.
She died right around the corner from the Man's Chinese Theater, the hotel. She was recording this particular album called Pearl, which went to number 1 after her death. And this song right here that we're listening to also went to number 1 after her death. She had been clean for a while, and so her resistance to heroin had kind of weaned out, but decided for some reason on that one faithful evening to decide that, I'm going to shoot up again. Couldn't find her usual drug dealer, so she went to some fucking dude at a park who, of course, isn't going to sell her the purest of shit or the cleanest of shit.
Well, I've always heard what ends up killing people that come back from recovery is they gotta imagine your body's not used to the same type of potency anymore.
Exactly.
So she would buy the same amount and inject herself with the same amount that she used to.
And that's what she did.
And that's what killed her.
And that's what she did. She fucking punched herself up with the same amount that she thought. It's like when you and I don't drink for a while. And then we come back and drink, and all of a sudden, what we used to be able to drink knocks us out in the first couple of beers.
Dude. This fucking weak-ass beer is starting to hit me.
All right, so, the next morning, she didn't show up for her recording session. Mm-hmm. And so they went to her hotel room and found her flat on her face with the needle still in her arm.
Oh, God.
Yep. We're talking about the great Janis Joplin. And, died at the age of 27. Full-fledged member of the 27 Club. One of the most influential singers that ever graced the planet. Man or woman.
Now, going into this list, do you think all these artists walking into them were already drug addicts? Or do you think the fame, the women...
The fame, especially these people in the 60s, you know?
Just got to them? I mean, the 60s was like a time where like you just experimented on anything that came onto you. And then back... I mean, I don't know about now, but I'm assuming so. People just threw fucking drugs at you for fun.
This is true.
Oh, you like some marijuana? You like mota in your life? Here's his needle. Here's his balloon.
You want some mota in your life and shit?
The big bopper right there.
Huh? Yeah, dude, because you know the word is out. but Janis Joplin, in my opinion, you know, as far as female voices go, my two of all time are Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin. No comparison. They just have the greatest fucking voices ever. And Janis Joplin, the reason why I hold her up so high there, if you hear the live version, 1967 Monterey Pop Festival of her, now mind you, she was up there as a member of Big Brother and the Holding Company, okay? Where she was mostly a backup singer. But when they gave her the mic, she sang probably the only song that's ever drawn me to tears. It's a song called Ball and Chain, live, 1967 at the Monterey Pop Festival. I was fucking in tears by the end of the song because I believed everything she sang. I believed it.
You believed it?
I believed it, dude. You know why I believe it? Because I'm a believer, dude.
You're a believer.
That's right. Not a believer.
Oh, about to say right now. I was about to say.
Not a believer, dude. All right. So, continuing on our trip on the Ellen's 27 Club Countdown is a guy who, at the age of 27, died of heart failure.
He gets heroin?
Heart failure. He died of a heart attack. But he must have done heroin. But everybody knows that up to the point that he died, was one of the most carousing, drug-taking, but at the same time is known as one of the best lyricists and probably one of the most famous frontmans to ever front a band. And I have to give it up to him. As a matter of fact, I had to turn Gary Merchant onto him again because he thought he was overrated. And I'm like, no, you got to check out this band because the band is actually very, 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 very good. Because, you know, since his death, the myth has always surrounded him. And people forget that he was actually the lead singer of a band with musicians that were fucking pretty damn terrific. So, at the age of 27, in Le Paris, Le France.
I already faked his death. And he lives off in Venice underneath the...
Well, he lived in Venice, and that's where the Doors were formed.
That's what I'm saying. He lives in Venice right now. He's a homeless man in Venice.
He might be, so...
Didn't you read, what's that tabloid that gives you all the fucked up...
The Weekly World News.
Yeah, he's out in Venice right now, dude.
Well...
He's panhandling in Venice.
Well, if he is, if his former life ended at the age of 27...
And his new life started as a homeless man in Venice.
In a bathtub in Paris, France.
He's in a shopping cart in Venice.
Maybe. But he's in a little... But I'm talking, of course, about the great Mr. Jim Morrison. Not the greatest singer, but probably one of the most enigmatic lead singers ever. I think, in my view, he ranks number 2 right behind Freddie Mercury. As far as, like, iconic lead singers. People.
You know what? Talking about lead singers... So, thinking about it right now, spontaneous.
Remember, all these people that were playing died at the age of 27.
I know they already made a movie of this guy.
Yeah, The Doors. Oliver Stone.
Why not make another one? But you're doing the Freddie Mercury now. You're doing the Elton John one. Yeah, I think you have a good slew of good actors that could probably play this guy.
Well, if I were to do... Well, Kilmer didn't play him too bad. I mean, he almost looked like him, too. It was crazy the way that, you know... But what I didn't like about the movie, what I don't like about a lot of those biographies is that they don't really I don't come away learning anything new that I haven't read before. You know what I'm saying? And that was my problem when I saw the